everyone. Welcome back to Poppin In with Alexa and Molly. I'm Alexa.
I'm Molly.
And this week, we're talking about singing. We're talking about the Grammys. Was that as bad as it felt?
It was good. I just wasn't expecting you to sing the Hoa Hoa song.
I don't know why, it just felt right in my soul. Last night I was singing something in the kitchen and Chris was dead silent and I turned and I said, you don't need to tell me I was good because I already know.
Oh, remind me to tell you something after this. I don't want to say it on the podcast. I'll tell you after.
Okay. But you did some singing last time, so I was like, I'll do a little bit of singing.
I wasn't expecting it, and it's always fun when it's not expected.
I had the chicken dance stuck in my head throughout the entire Grammys, and I don't know why I just kept singing it, and Chris was like, I really need you to, like, not be singing that right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah, especially during... Okay, you're gonna really have to turn that down.
I had coffee at 4 p.m., can you tell?
Yep. But we're not just singing for no reason.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Grammys.
Woo!
Woohoo! I know y'all are just waiting to hear our thoughts and
feelings, and they're good.
They are good. This was honestly
that's all I have. No,
such a good Grammys.
It really was. It was like the best like performance, the best lineup, I feel like, in a while.
Yeah. It was like I feel like it was something that everybody was actually excited about.
Yeah, and there were a lot of surprises, but none that I was like, wow, I hate that. Like,
right.
But so like let's get in it. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
And we can start.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? We can start. And we can talk.
Start with the red carpet.
Oh yeah, okay. So
outfits. Okay, so what was your favorite?
Okay, so my favorite was obviously Sabrina.
Okay, her like
her
gold
red carpet look
or the blue. Okay.
I loved the gold, but her red carpet look, it was so beautiful. It was a baby blue. Who was the designer?
J.W. Anderson.
Oh, okay. And it was like this baby blue gown, and it had like a back. It was backless.
Yeah,
and it had this like long like bobble thing in the
and
back.
And she had like the almost like a feather boa type texture on top, which gave me like you know how in the 1950s when they wear those like dress gowns or whatever, or like their sleeping gowns where it has like the sleeves have the boas around it. She just like reminds me of someone who's like plush.
Yes. Plush. I thought it was an ode to somebody. Like I swear I saw like a comparison. It was a tribute to somebody, but I couldn't. Then today I was trying to look it up and I couldn't find it.
It felt very like.
But she always tributes. I feel like she's big on like doing like tributes to people.
It felt kind of like Bewitched-esque, maybe like something she would wear. Yeah, I think baby blue is her color.
It definitely is. Well, it looks good on blondes. I feel like.
You look good in blue.
Love that. And I loved her. So then she wore gold during the show, and she wore she had a matching flask that she was drinking out of. Yeah,
that's
it was like
funny.
a gold. Yeah, it was.
I will say one of my favorite parts is like when Trevor Noah was talking, I would look in the background and just like seeing these famous people. Like I was just watching Cynthia Erivo in the background, just like take a bite of something and just like.
I know, because
like
you'd be
chewing.
hungry. I think I wouldn't eat, though, because, like, I get anxious. If I'm anxious, I don't really eat. And so it would be hard for me to just, like, eat at an award show. Knowing, A, that cameras are all around and could capture you eating, which is, like, my biggest nightmare. And also, just, like, I wouldn't be hungry. Plus, you're wearing, like, a really tight dress.
Mine is I would spill.
That, too.
You guys, I was telling them, literally, Chris popped me a whole whole bowl of popcorn for the Grammys. And immediately I dropped it on the couch, myself, and the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
So, like, imagine me in the background of an award show just being like, what?
But then you have to think, like, okay, you're drinking.
Yeah.
But then, like, so you have to eat because what if you're nominated for an award and you might potentially win? So now you're getting up on stage drunk.
Yeah.
No food in your body. And you're just, like, your speech makes no sense, which often happens. That's why people's speeches are so weird sometimes, is because they're A, nervous, but also just wasted.
Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't, like, I would be, like, maybe a little bit tipsy, but, like, even in some of those heels, like, when Sabrina Carpenter went up to accept her award, I was like, I would die in those heels. And maybe it's
she has to wear them, though, because she's
short and sweet. Which, the whole time, like, that they were talking about it, and I kept turning to Poe, who is my dog, and I was like, you're the original short and sweet.
Aww.
Sweet and low. Anyways. So, yeah, loved hers. And I'm I'll give it to Taylor Swift. Her Vivienne Westwood.
Hers was my second favorite.
With her little, like, T that was hanging down. Which people, like, I saw this, like, a bunch of people posting where they were, like, trying to Google, like, what does the T mean? Like, trying to figure out the hidden meaning.
Taylor.
Yeah, and someone posted with, like...
Taylor.
Yeah, someone posted that High School Musical meme where it's, like,
for
T is in Troy, and it's, like, yeah.
Yeah.
T for Taylor. She looked great, though. I mean, I think it's my favorite outfit I've ever seen her in.
Yeah.
She looked beautiful.
That green outfit is probably always my favorite. The one.
I don't remember.
It's probably like everybody's favorite. I think it was like a Reputation thing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I think
so it was like a red sparkly like mini dress and it was Vivienne Westwood. It just like was really flattering. It looked so good.
Yeah, I think red is her color.
I was gonna say she does look really good in red.
Blue is Sabrina Carpenter, red is Taylor Swift, which is why she's always got the red lip probably.
What do you think Chappell Roan's color is?
Green. And it's because she's got red hair.
That is true, yeah.
Which we'll get into that, but she definitely made it on my worst dress list. Anyways.
It's so crazy though. So there's this guy on TikTok. I don't remember his name. I'll have to go back and look. But he always does, like, he'll review like outfits and he's really like rude about it. Like he'll be like, love this, hate this. What were they thinking? Like he's always so like bored while he's doing it. But he did the Grammys, and there were some crazy outfits in there. Like, truly, like, in my opinion, just, like, crazy outfits. Yeah. And, like, he loved every single look. There was not one look that he didn't. But then he'll review, like, the Oscars, and it'll be, like, actually, like, beautiful gowns that I'm like, I would love to wear that. And he's just like, hate this.
Here's what I don't like crazy for crazy's sake. I like where it's, like, artistic. Like, that's why I love the Met Gala outfits.
So the Met Gala. So here's the thing. I feel like the thing with the Grammys is I feel like we always say, like, actors are weird, but, like, singers are apparently weird, too, because I feel like the Grammys is where people will just go all out and wear some crazy things, and it's because as a singer, I think, like, as a performer, you're a character, so that there's a reason, but I do think, like, sometimes I'll be looking at that, I'm like, save that for the Met Gala. We're at the Grammys. What are you wearing?
But I guess not everyone gets invited to the Met Gala, and you don't know what the theme is, so you've got to stand out when you can stand out.
Oh, this is so funny. Shout out Megan, friend of the pod. Shout out Mary Crossley, friend of the pod. She just texted me and said, because I know you are probably recording your podcast right now, was the theme of this year's Grammy naked and unfazed?
That's good. Yes,
we'll get into that. Okay.
Yeah, we will get into that. But my other top one, Olivia Rodrigo, who I'll be honest, like, she's not my favorite. Like, I don't really listen to her music, and she's interesting, but she looked amazing. She was wearing a vintage 2000 Versace dress, and it was, like, black, and it had, like, kind of, like, this cutout, and she just looked incredible.
Yeah, loved. Well, she always does. I think she is so gorgeous.
Yeah, she is. I just think her music is fine.
It's never been for me, but I also, she and Sabrina Carpenter have, like, historically kind of had, like, a feud, supposedly, but they were hugging at the Grammys. They, like, Olivia Rodrigo went up to her table. We're pitting women against each other as usual. But...
Yeah, I feel like sometimes those feuds are just, like, for PR. Like, it just keeps their names, like, exactly. And then you get to be like, I'm Team Sabrina, I'm Team Olivia.
But it was before Sabrina, like, really grew. Like, I feel like it was, like, when Olivia was, like, really taking off, and then it was, like, with, like, Driver's License, but then, like, Sabrina kind of wasn't super, like, Espresso hadn't come out yet. And now I feel like Sabrina has kind of blown her out of the water.
Oh, absolutely. And also that, like, think about that feud. That was, 5 years ago? They were 15, probably? Like,
That's why I didn't even want to bring it up, because I'm like, I feel like it's embarrassing to even know about their feud. I feel like it's very, like, Tiger Beat, like, teen. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of like when people would bring up, like, the Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber stuff, and it's like, they dated 15 years ago.
Yeah, they're in their 30s.
Yeah, like, of course, they're like, can we please drop this? Like,
Ooh, I have oh my gosh, just you wait. I'm going to bring something up later. Okay. But anyway, no, I just remembered it. I didn't even add it to my notes, but I just remembered something.
Okay, interesting. Continue. Okay, who's next on your list?
On my fashion list?
Yeah.
So I only, I don't know. I only really said Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor were my favorites. But we can get into the others. I didn't see Cardi B.
She wore... Hang on, I'll show you.
Sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I was going to say Troye Sivan always looks good.
He does. I can't think of Troye Sivan without seeing the Timothée Chalamet SNL sketch where he's like, it's me, Troye Sivan.
Yeah.
Let me find the full. Like, I just thought it was, like, very
unique
for her. Very, very pretty.
It was pretty.
Very flattering.
Yeah, the dress
Cardi B,
itself,
our good friend.
Our good friend.
Friend of the pod.
We were in the same room as her.
Yeah, we were very close.
So
not like a concert, but like she was right there.
It was a personal performance.
Yeah.
Dancing
for us. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's pretty. I see what you're saying. It's like it's not my favorite. The dress didn't stand out to me, but it does look really good on her.
Yeah. I also really liked, I actually did not know who this person was, Gracie Abrams. Like, I know the name, but I didn't know what she looked like. And I saw her in the crowd, and all I could see was, like, she had,
I
saw her in the crowd.
No, I have something funny to say.
She's wearing, like, this veil, and I was just like, wow, I kind of just love a veil.
It's giving Catholic.
It's giving Dune.
I did see something. That. She is like kind of, I think a lot of people will kind of think of her as like the ultimate Nepo baby.
Oh, really? Who are her parents?
J.J. Abrams.
What?
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams of Lost?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think a lot.
Produced by J.J.
Because I'm not really a fan of her. I mean, yeah, like I'm not really like a huge fan of her music. Like I hear it and I'm just like, she's fine.
She sing?
A lot of people, I couldn't even tell you. Yeah, and that's me saying, as somebody who's not like I don't feel like I'm the right person to talk about this. Like anybody else could probably name a bunch of her songs, but
yeah.
I was just gonna say though, she's kind of, I sort of think of her as like there are a lot of other people who are more talented than her, and so it does seem like she's very just like Nepo baby. But I was gonna say there was a picture of her and Benson Boone next to each other.
Oh yeah.
And somebody said this is Troye Sivan and Charlie XCX for youth group.
Oh yeah.
People who were in youth group.
When Benson Boone was singing, Chris was just like, what is his genre? Is he country? And I was like, no. And he was like,
his own thing. Nobody knows. Like that's kind of the
nobody knows. Also Charlie XCX. So I did like the style of the dress. It was like it's a gray, almost like feather dress. I just wish it weren't gray. Like I think
I actually love the color. I hate the shoes with it. Like I'm just not a fan. But that's
the shoes are very her.
It's just her look, yeah.
And I should say that Gracie Abrams, she was in Custom Chanel. Charlie XCX was in Couture Jean Paul Gaultier. And Troye Sivan was in Prada. Did you see what he was wearing?
Yeah.
I thought he was like, honestly, not a lot of the men stood out for me.
No, but often men don't. But again, like with the Grammy, did you see Jaden Smith's?
Yeah, I have him on here. He was wearing a headpiece sculpted by Dora Abodi and a suit from Louis Vuitton. He's literally wearing a castle on his head where it's like his head is coming out of the front doors.
Which Willem Dafoe did it first, because if you look up Willem Dafoe house on head,
okay,
I don't know how else to describe it. Everybody look this up. He did it first. It's like a photo shoot that he did. House hat. So I didn't even have to I literally typed in Willem Dafoe and it immediately came up. Is that not exactly what Jaden...
Yes, that's crazy.
I'm going to send this to you. So
I will say, like, Jaden Smith, though, his house was more of, like, I would love to play Polly Pockets on that house.
It was actually very Nosferatu.
It was. I would love to do some Barbie play on that head.
Some gothic Barbie play.
Yeah, all my Barbie play was gothic. You should know my Barbies were getting murdered every day.
What?
My parents had me watching Law and Order from the age of 5.
Singing, or at the hair salon.
No, mine was
or
dark.
Or having families.
Mine were getting like hung for being witches, you know?
Yes, I love that. What kind of did you have them wear like long gowns, like long, like weird clothes?
No, because it was just like whatever packaging they came in.
Okay, gotcha.
But I did have like handcrafted dolls, not my toilet paper roll dolls, but like porcelain dolls that I had in like long Victorian gowns.
I wish that we had played together as kids, because you'd have been like, let's put them on trial for being witches, and I'm like, I just want to make a water slide and let them swim in the sink.
Yeah, and I would be like, yeah, and at the end they die. If they drown,
we dunk them for being witches.
If they drown, they're a witch. There we go. Let that Barbie burn.
Yes. Not Midge. Don't touch my Midge.
Is she the pregnant one?
She was not pregnant when she was my doll. She was not pregnant.
Wow.
So I was really thrown off, because like in the movie she was pregnant and I was like, that's not, but apparently she was.
Yeah, your mom I think said she had a pregnant Midge.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Also, why is her name Midge? I've always wondered that.
Because they're all old.
What's that short for though? I've never heard of somebody named Midge other than the Barbie doll.
Oh, I do know what it's short for.
Midget?
No, because the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, her name is Midge.
Really?
Margaret.
Also, when I said midget, I was making a joke about Bridget, and I realized I said, like, midget. I wasn't trying to be rude. Okay.
Oh, no. Or Miriam.
No.
Her name's Miriam.
That's like Molly being short for Margaret. That makes no sense.
Well, that's like Peggy being short. We've had this discussion. Peggy being short for Margaret. Are you kidding me? It pisses me off.
The G is in there, at least. Molly is nowhere near Margaret. That makes no sense. It really bothers me.
Is it? I've never heard of that as a nickname.
Molly Brown.
Who? What?
Molly Brown.
Like the Unsinkable?
Yeah, her name was Margaret Brown.
Oh, well, people back then, it's kind of like they didn't have TV, so they just were making nicknames, you know what I mean? And like
Bill, short for William, makes no sense as well.
Yeah. Billiam, I guess?
No,
I don't know.
Short for William.
Or Dick, short for Richard?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyways, where were we? Okay, so let's get into like our, I want to say my notable mention. So DJ Mustard, he was wearing this little cardigan when he went on stage to like accept the award with Kendrick. Mm-hmm. And I literally was about to Google like where he got the cardigan from, and I stopped myself because I was like, I will not be able to afford that.
Yeah,
so I don't
want to see. Also, they don't afford it. They just rent them, right?
Yeah. And I really liked Teddy Swims when he was performing. He was wearing like this robe that had like these huge red flowers on it. And I was like, wow, like I actually really like that for him.
I actually have no idea who that is.
He is the one, I didn't know who he was either. He's the one that sings that song, in case you didn't know. Hang on. Oh yeah, where he's like, I lose control.
Ooh.
That was bad. that was almost there.
It was really good.
When you're not next to me.
No idea.
That's understandable if you couldn't get it from that.
Don't know her.
But he had a really, I liked his outfit. It was like kind of a, so it's like this white.
What? Like, he kind of looks like Coach Beard a little bit.
He does, but that's kind of why I liked it, is he like has this kind of like, I would say like middle America look to him, but he's wearing like this, I would say very like artistically looking.
Yeah.
It was the most interesting male outfit I saw.
It is. I feel like I already like him. I actually have no idea who he is. Like I've never heard of him. He has an amazing
voice. I'll play the song.
Yeah, he looks like he has an amazing voice.
And then I loved Queen Latifah, who has not aged.
No,
She had like this very interesting cape too that Chris did not like. He immediately was like, "Oh, what is she wearing?" And I was like, "I love that."
Who is that child on the stage? Is that Alicia? Wait,
that's Alicia Keys'
Alicia Keys' son. Yeah, because I saw all about that.
Yeah. Well, wait,
just Taylor Swift like dancing with her son.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Queen Latifah was wearing like this kind of like black, almost like Matrixy looking like thing. It looked good. I liked it. I thought it was interesting, like artistically.
I'm a huge fan of Queen Latifah. I don't love the outfit. It's fine. I just don't.
I will say Beyonce's outfit, she was wearing a gold dress that I liked, but I didn't like the paisley pattern, which I know like fits in kind of with like the Cowboy Carter theme, but I just am like, I'm not a paisley person.
Yeah.
But anyways, so worst outfits. I don't even know if this is worst, just shocking.
So we can get into this because I kind of have a lot to say.
Okay, so Bianca Censori was not censored.
I swear I actually didn't know that's how you pronounced her last name. I thought it was sensory, and I thought that was really funny because
maybe it is sensory.
Censored. No, I don't know. Sensory sounds probably more correct, but I thought it was
either way.
Sensory. But she and Kanye had this whole red carpet stunt. Mm. They apparently there were rumors that they weren't invited and that they just showed up and they were escorted out. But but people are saying that's incorrect because first of all, he was nominated, so I'm not sure why they wouldn't have been invited. Or why he wouldn't have been invited. But so I'm not sure about that one.
It's his first time back in 10 years. So, like, he was, I think, I can't remember if it was, like, he was, like, protesting the Grammys or something happened, but he hasn't been back
never mind. I was getting the VMAs confused with the Grammys.
Oh, yeah. But we all remember that.
But it was just, like, it was very odd. So they showed up, and he was just wearing all black. And she was wearing this big coat, and she took the coat off, and she's wearing this essentially just completely, like, nude, see-through sheer dress, so you can literally see, like, everything. Nothing to the imagination. And Kanye was, like, directing her how to pose and, like, talking to her.
He was like, literally whispering, like, you could tell he was like, okay, like, now take your, like, coat off. And you could tell she was kind of, like, maybe, like, a little bit hesitant about it.
I'm just here to say there is something deeply unsettling about their relationship.
I don't know that much about it.
I think there's something very weird because, first of all, he's like he's kind of known for, he seems very controlling, just of his partners in general, because I know when he was with Kim, he used to like dictate her outfits. Like he was big on like, he told her what fashion, like what she would wear and stuff. And so I can see them the same thing, and I'm like almost worried for her. Like I'm like, because
I think he's an incredibly controlling, like, he seems like a really toxic person to be in a relationship with.
100%. It's shocking to me that they're even still together but then, so there was, like, remember they got in trouble for being on that boat? They were, like, having sex on that boat.
I really try to avoid Kanye things.
It's, like, so weird. They've, like, had weird stuff before. So they did this whole stunt and, like, okay, this is what I was kind of trying to get into earlier, is like, why are we making fashion statements at the Grammys? Like, we're not here, do that at the Met Gala. Like, we're not here for that. This is about music.
Yeah. And also, unrelated hot take, I think Yeezys are so ugly. Like, I don't like Kanye's fashion.
No, I don't either. Also, it's not that, like, crazy. I feel like he thinks he's this, like, fashion genius, and I'm like, you're not really inventing anything.
And isn't she, like, the architectural lead or something on his house that, like, never got built or whatever?
I have no idea. I don't know, but
don't quote me on that.
I just find their relationship, I'm curious what other people think of this, but, like, I just think their relationship is very weird.
Yeah, I mean, all of his are weird. All of his are like, and I
know, but there's something weird going on with them. Like, he just seems so controlling and just like, why? And there was something gross about just the fact that he was all dressed and like and he was like telling her how to pose and like, and she had to take like, and she was like basically naked on the red carpet.
Yeah, well, she wore a second outfit of the night at like an after party where she was basically naked as well. Yeah. It was like a bodysuit, but that was see through.
Which, what is that? Like, we're not like, that's not art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just, and the thing is, I would be curious, like, whose idea was it?
Probably hit, but yeah, because I feel like we don't know her, so maybe this is all her idea, and I'm just looking too much into it. But to me, it just seems there's something weird going on.
Yeah, for sure. And then there was like this whole thing. I only saw like a tweet or something about this where I guess they were like licking each other at the after party.
Probably. Which
is just like, I don't know. When people are licking each other, I'm just like, yeah, they're probably strange. I'm not a big licker.
Yeah, it reminds me of Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker, how they're always like making out in front, like just in front of everybody, and their tongues are like down each other's throats in front of everyone. And I'm like, are you 15 and like making out in the like school hallways before class? Because that's what it's giving.
Yes, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I can't believe people used to do that. Like, how embarrassing.
How embarrassing, but like, it was high school. Yeah. You are in your 40s.
Yeah.
And she'll say things like, she'll be like, I want my kids to see what real love is. And I'm like, okay, there's nothing wrong with like giving each other a kiss in front of your kids. Yeah. Or even like if you just made out a little bit in front of your kids. But like to be like that,
I think you can be physically affectionate without being overly sexual in front of your children. Like, because the thing is, like, it's going to create some kind of weird association. Yeah. Hands down. And also, I think it's weird. I was listening to this podcast we were listening to this like a while ago. It's called Decoder Ring. And they were talking about like, like the history of making out. And it's interesting because like not all societies and cultures do it. And they were talking about this one culture where it's like they don't make out, but they do like eyebrow sucking. Basically. Ew. And I was like, that sounds worse. Yeah. And especially like getting spit in your eye. Ow. Yeah. A lot of salt. A lot of human salt.
That would be really confusing for me, who has like a weird relationship with my eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
So
I feel like it'd be weird,
for anybody.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, her outfit, whatever. Like, they're trying to make a statement. They're trying to be like, I'm over it.
And we don't care because again, it's the Grammys. Like, I don't need to. What was that? Why are you taking away like?
I think I'm over pretty much anything Kanye does.
Yeah. Well, who cares? Literally, who cares? But also, yeah, just with the state. But yeah, so I'm curious. I feel like he was invited. I don't know why he wouldn't have been, but
I am curious. Like, he must have like NDAs probably with his like girlfriends and ex-wives and stuff, obviously. But I would love like a tell-all of like what went on in those relationships. Oh, 100%. I bet it's crazy.
I feel like, I wonder if he probably has dirt on like Kim though, and like her family, because they've got some secrets. Oh, yeah. So like I feel like she can only say so much, because I do wonder like
mutual destruction.
Yeah.
But anyways, other outfits that I hated. So I loved Doechii when she was performing, but her red carpet outfit I thought was so ugly. It was, hang on. It looked like this. It was like, it's a gray, like, schoolgirl outfit. Or not, like, schoolgirl, but, like, almost like an office attire outfit.
Yeah.
Where she's wearing, like, a tie. The sleeves are coming off, but she's also wearing, like, a button-down. It just wasn't for me. I just didn't find it to be that interesting or flattering. It was from the dresses by Them Brown. And I loved what she wore during, like, her performance. She wore some cool stuff, but...
I feel like it almost went with her performance a little bit.
Yeah, it did.
I don't hate it. I feel like I've seen it before, I guess I would say.
I don't know. I think I expected more from her, maybe. And then Chapel Roan. God.
The inside, you mean? Like in the...
Both.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Her red carpet outfit was a vintage Jean-Paul Gaultier, whatever. I'm not cultured. And that's why I was like, green has to be her color because yellow sure ain't. This is the worst thing. She looks like she's about to be beheaded in French court.
She does. And the makeup just truly, like, I'm going to say something. The makeup, like, actually scares me. Like, I think she is really pretty. Like, when she's, like, I've said this before, but, like, when she's not made up, sometimes it shocks me just, like, how different she is.
Yeah.
But, like, when she does this, like, French Marie Antoinette, like, weird, like, white makeup, like, it honestly freaks me out.
Yeah. And I was thinking about it, and I know it's probably, like, the same for drag performers, too, because she does, like, a similar makeup style, but I'm like, it has to be so miserable to perform in that, like, so sweaty. Like, I just can't imagine. My face would be breaking out so much.
I was gonna say, I wonder what her acne situation is like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's good about washing her face afterwards, but I would hope be. So. I was telling Chris, when we were watching the Charlie XCX performance, because she was swinging her head around, I always now think about Chapel telling the story about how she was swinging her head around and she was dancing in her room and she was like, oh, my neck hurts. And the next day she was like passed out or something and they took her to the hospital and it was like she had broken her neck from swinging her head around from dancing.
So crazy.
I probably got like some details of that wrong, but anyways, it's just very interesting. Yeah. So I hated her look. And then Alicia Keys, I love Alicia Keys. I hated her outfit. Like as soon as she came up on screen, I was like, even Chris was like, oh, what is she wearing? And Chris does not, like, pay attention to those things. But she was wearing, like, full head-to-toe Dolce & Gabbana. And it's just the earring situation is too much. It's, like, these huge gold...
But they're not really earrings because they're attached to the headband, right?
Yeah, but they kind of, like, I think when I was looking at her, they, like, wrapped around her ears. Because there's no way your ear would be able to sustain that heavy of, like, a weight, you know? But and she was wearing in the middle, it's like kind of like a gold like corset type of thing, and I was just like,
I've seen worse. I mean, I don't hate it. It's not my favorite, but it's not that terrible.
I hate it.
It's just not, I mean, again, the Grammys are just such a unique, they're just weird outfits. So.
Yeah. Were there any that stood out to you as being like hate?
So Chapel Roan in it's hard to say like Chapel
Roan. Oh, in her like dunce outfit?
The dunce outfit. It's hard to say that like I hate it because it's just like it's so Chapel Roan. So I feel like we can't even really speak seriously about like her looks.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the red carpet one as much. The one where she's wearing the hat was like so funny.
Well, she's wearing this huge dunce hat and Chris and I were like
garden wall.
Yeah, Chris and I were laughing because we were like, imagine sitting behind her. It was like Casey Abrams or something. You could tell that they were just like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And also like I was telling him, I was like, I feel like Chapel Roan reminds...
Do you mean Gracie Abrams?
Who did I say?
Casey Abrams.
Whatever.
No, I was just making sure. I was like, wait, who's Casey Abrams now?
Well, y'all know.
Okay.
But no, I need the correction. But I was telling him, I was like, Chapel Roan almost reminds me of Lady Gaga.
Yes,
like 15 years ago.
Okay, so I do want to talk about Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
So, how did you feel about her look?
Where's her eyebrows?
I don't know. But I did say, I saw something very funny today that made me laugh. It was like, Lady Gaga is always at her best when she's vaguely Catholic.
Oh, interesting.
And it's so true. Like her just that is, I feel like she's kind of back, you know?
Oh, she is. She has we'll get into this, but she has a new album coming out, so that's what she was teasing.
Yeah.
She was wearing like a head-to-toe black, a very Nosferatu.
Yes.
Look, and the thing is,
Can you imagine if she was cast in Nosferatu? Like, what if she was like, because you know she acts. So.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we just saw her in something.
Joker too. I had to remember as well.
I know.
I was sitting there like thinking about it.
She was just acting, yeah.
Because I was thinking of only House of Gucci, and then I was like, wait.
No, see, I was thinking of like American Horror Story, and then A Star Is Born.
The thing is, I think she's incredibly talented. It's just like when I see her in a movie, I think I said this when we were talking about Joker 2, it's hard for me not to be like, that's Lady Gaga, you know? But her outfit, it wasn't the craziest thing Lady Gaga's ever wore.
No, it wasn't.
But it just was like, I was like, it's not pretty at all, or like it's not flattering, but it's something. And I did go with the theme of like her music video that she showed later on. So yeah, those are my fashion takes.
I actually do think Chappell Roan is like a new Lady Gaga.
Oh, absolutely.
Basically. But it's less about her outfits and more just like her overall energy, I guess, that she brings. That's very like shocking.
Yeah. She does.
Remember when Lady Gaga, it was like her outfits were always like the shot, like the meat dress.
I feel like Lady Gaga until recently, like she kind of didn't have a
brand.
Like, or not brand. It was like I never really heard her talk a lot, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was like she let her like work kind of stand for itself and like her, you know, other crazy weird stuff. But
oh, you mean until recently?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say
now
recently. I feel like she doesn't
her.
have as much of a brand anymore, but it's her just being like cause I feel like we do hear her talk now a lot. We see more of her personality, which will happen with Chappell Roan in the future too.
Yeah, because I mean, Lady Gaga's been doing this since 2007, almost 20 years. So I would imagine she's like, yeah, meat suit was past me. Yep. But she's still got like a little bit of that old like weirdness in her. And I was telling Chris, I always think about, you know, that thing where it was like, Stephanie Germanata, you will never be famous. It's like some girl from her high school made a Facebook page, and that was the name of it. And it like resurfaced, you know, when she became famous. And Chris was like, while that is mean, but he was like,
imagine how insufferable she was.
Yeah, he was like, imagine someone like that in high school. You'd be like, yeah, you're never gonna be famous.
One of the cringiest things. Again, I love Lady. I am a fan of Lady Gaga. So but I'm gonna say this because I think like I love her so much, but I also feel like she would be insufferable as a person.
Yeah.
And there was one time she was I think it was like when A Star Is Born was coming out, she was doing an interview and she was like on Graham Norton or something, and she was like, yeah, I used to, I guess her parents had some store, maybe it was like a pizza shop, I don't know, but she was like, I used to like perform in my dad's like shop, and all the people would like watch me while I was singing, and they would just think I was such a hoot, and like I was like, oh,
that's
stop.
a good impression. I feel like you're good at impressions.
Thank you. I didn't think I was doing a good impression, but yeah,
it was the inflections. You did a good job.
It was like she was doing. Thank you. She was just like trying to be like. I don't even.
Is it like in the Beckham documentary where Victoria Beckham is like, yeah,
like trying to like downplay
a middle class family, and he's like, what did your dad drive you to school in every day? Just like, a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I think like it's like the performativeness of her is like what made me
she's one of those people where I'm curious what she's like in private when she finally has to like decompress and like.
I told you about her documentary, right? With that scene in the documentary where she like takes her, like she's taught, it's in her 5'2" or whatever documentary, however tall she is, whatever the name of that documentary was. She was like being interviewed by people outside her house, like in her pool. They were like sitting by the pool, and she just like at like a mid conversation with these professional people, she just takes her shirt off and she's like, oh, sorry, and like now she just like tits out, like she's just like, sorry, like I just needed to get comfortable, and they kind of like, they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like it was just so like, can you imagine doing that?
Yeah, that's interesting. And also like, sure, you're comfortable, but now everyone else is uncomfortable.
I was gonna say, like, what kind of like alpha move is that? You know what I mean? Like there's something weird about that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I guess we can talk about the fact that so Lady Gaga, she had a commercial that was basically her new music video. And it was for a song called Abracadabra on her upcoming album. I believe it's coming out in March, called Mayhem. I liked it. It was a cool video.
Again, I felt like it's like very old Gaga. Like I just feel like we're back.
Yeah, and I was happy for her. I'm excited to hear the rest. It was good. I liked it. It was weird, like her, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was giving Judas, like I just felt like we were back in like the Judas, like.
Oh yeah. Anyways, so I guess we should talk about like the people who won, like the actual awards.
Yeah. Who are your? Okay, so. What do we want to get into first?
So I guess like the biggest is Kendrick Lamar. Yeah. So he won 5 Grammys, but the biggest ones were for Album of the Year, and I believe he had Song of the Year for Not Like Us.
So no, it wasn't Album of the Year. It was Song of the Year and Record of the Year,
Record
wasn't
of
it?
the Year.
And so what I'm confused about is what is the difference, if that's a stupid question?
I think one is like, I don't know.
I literally don't understand. But yeah, so he took home.
Yeah.
He took home 5 Grammys.
For Not Like Us. And okay, we were all, and Chris said he like looked this up and people were tweeting about it, but everyone just imagine being Drake and everyone at the Grammys just singing like probably A minor.
And then being awarded. Like imagine the person who's just like ruining your life essentially being awarded for ruining your life, you know?
And Chris was like, I mean, Drake can't sue all of them. Was he gonna sue Beyonce? He sues the Grammys, like they're all singing. And he can never show his face again. I don't think
so. What can he do after that? I think he has to literally like buy an island and just move.
Yeah, like it's just so embarrassing.
I mean, there's like really only one thing you can do.
Buy
an island.
Yeah, buy an island. Yeah. But I just think he deserved it. Like it was, I think, one of the most notable like songs of the year. Like the amount of people that know about it, like, and it's also a bop, and it also like stirred up a lot of controversy and started a lot of conversation.
But that's not why something should win. I mean, isn't it just about like the song itself?
And I think the song itself, like it is a work of art. Like it's, and I also was thinking about like he's accepting this Grammy. This is probably like his millionth Grammy. He's just gonna put it next to his Pulitzer, and like it's just like crazy. Like he was very casual about it.
He's a very casual dude. He's so funny. I feel like I always forget how small he is, and just like he kind of is like a little like teddy bear or something.
He's one of those people also who he looks different in like every
time
I see him, because it's like he's wearing his glasses, he's not wearing his glasses. Sometimes he looks very petite, but sometimes he looks very like not petite.
And I felt like last night he did not look petite.
No. But he seems like he's like a nice guy, kind of. I don't know.
He's not like arrogant, and I think that's the difference.
I think that is the huge difference. And he's just like, he's about the music. He's about like the art form. Like I think is just about like he was so the whole like theme of the Grammys, well not theme, but like they wanted people to donate to like the LA fire relief, and Kendrick Lamar is from LA, and like his first Grammy that he won, he was like, I'm dedicating this to like the people of LA, to the city itself, because that's where he grew up. And I thought it was a really touching tribute.
Yeah. Then did he dedicate all of his other ones to LA too?
No, I think he like, I don't even know what he did for the second one. I think he was just like, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, and I think DJ Mustard, who was up there with him both times, like said.
That is the hard thing about the Grammys specifically, is how many awards you can win.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually asked you guys this. Do you think it's harder to win a Grammy or an Oscar? And here's my thing. I think it's harder to win an Oscar because, let's say, like, for a Grammy, it's like you could be nominated for, like, the song, the record, the album. Yeah. For an Oscar, it's like, okay, best actor. That's it. You got that one movie, maybe, unless you're Timothée Chalamet.
What did I say? I feel like I had a good response to that. Oh, it was not a good response. It was just like a me about to go to bed being like, acting is harder than singing, so I would say Oscar.
Yeah.
I would say that. Like, I just think, I'm not saying literally acting is harder than singing, but I feel like there's more unique talent with acting than there is with singing, maybe. I don't know.
Really? I feel the opposite. I just feel like, I think they're with, like, not even just singing, but, like, creating all the music and stuff. But I think, like, there's more awards. Chances
I guess
win an Emmy,
yeah,
which is interesting.
I mean, because you're only nominated unless you're, like...
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan was nominated for 2 Golden Globes for 2 different things. Like, typically, you're only nominated for, like, one thing. Yeah. But with the Grammys, I mean, you can be up there winning 5 Grammys.
Yeah. But so in other news... Speaking of someone who won multiple Grammys, Beyonce! So she won Album of the Year and Best Country Album, and I will say she looked legitimately shocked when they announced Best Country Album. Her face, she literally was like...
I know, it's such a meme now.
Yeah. She's like, oh, okay, yeah. And shout out to Beyonce. She deserves it. So this is...
It was a surprise, though, I will say, her winning Album of the Year. Well, probably both, I guess. But I feel like I was not expecting it.
Yeah. I wasn't either. You know, we've talked about this in the past, how, like, generally, like, country music doesn't tend to accept, like, Black country as part of it. And it's, like, just as equally relevant and good and, like, and I think she deserved to win.
Yeah.
I'm glad she did. And so
I can't speak on that because I don't know country. Like, I literally don't listen to country music, so I can't compare her to the other albums. But
yeah,
I feel like she was shut out of the CMAs, so I feel like this was kind of a...
So she also had lost Album of the Year 4 previous times. And so now that she's won Cowboy Carter, she's the first Black woman this century and the fourth in only the show's history, to like take home this award, which is kind of crazy. And I think it goes into like, you know, recognizing these different types of music and different types of artists.
Yeah, absolutely. I think...
And it was a tough category, for at least for Album of the Year. I can't really speak on a lot of the country stuff either.
It was. I'm going to be honest, it wasn't her. This album was not like my favorite. And
of hers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
same.
I think it is interesting. I am happy for her though. I mean, she's deserves the award at some point.
Yeah. I think I compared it to like Leonardo DiCaprio winning the Oscar for The Revenant, where it's kind of just like, yeah, he should have that. And, you know, like she should have an Album of the Year Grammy.
Yeah.
She should probably have multiple, actually, but...
Who did you think was going to win?
I thought it was going to be Chappell Roan or... And this is a bias of mine, but I thought Charlie XCX was a good contender.
Yeah.
I did not...
I thought Chappell Roan was going to win.
A lot of people said Billie Eilish, which I understand why they said that. I wasn't, like, a huge fan of this album.
I didn't think she should have. I just said I could see her winning.
Yeah, well, she was... Like... I couldn't tell. She was, like, legitimately tearing up afterwards when they showed her, and I was like, I don't know if it's because she lost or because of, like, Beyonce, like, said this really nice speech in general.
I doubt she was crying because she lost. I don't see her doing that.
I know, like... Some friend of the pods were upset because it was like Sabrina Carpenter lost. I never thought she was going to win Album of the Year.
No, I love Sabrina Carpenter. Yeah. I didn't think she deserved Album of the Year.
Yeah,
though.
Like it was good pop album.
I thought she deserved, what did she win? Pop Song of the Year?
Yeah.
Pop, whatever.
Yeah.
What she did win, I thought she deserved.
Yeah. Which I will say though, I was very upset. So for like duo pop performance or whatever, it was Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars for that random song that no one's ever heard of.
No one cares about. I almost brought that up earlier and then I forgot. But yeah, I was like, what?
Who do you think it should? I think it should have been Charlie XCX and Billie Eilish. That song is iconic. And again, I know I'm biased, but this is like not coming from a biased place. I'm like, that was out of the pop duos. It was like that, Fortnite for Taylor Swift and Post Malone.
Yeah. That's true. I was going to ask you who else. Was Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars, wasn't theirs like country though? I thought it was like slightly country, or am I just imagining that?
I think so.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else, but
it was
maybe like, just their look was country. There was something country about it. I don't remember I don't even remember the song. Like
literally when they were playing the song, like as they came up, I was like, I've never heard this in my life.
I didn't even know that was a category, to be honest.
I didn't even know they had a song together. I'll be real. Like
I did know they had a song together, but I didn't listen to it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
It's a strange mashup.
And then Chappell Roan won Best New Artist, which I think was sense. Very fitting.
Yeah.
Her speech was good, but the way she does things is sometimes interesting. She brought like a whole journal up.
She did. I was gonna say that she was reading out of a journal.
Yeah, and her little dunce hat fell, and she was like, "My hat's gonna fall, and it's gonna be okay." And then it did, which I thought that was cute, but. You know, I think in her speech, she was like advocating for better rights of like new underrepresented labels. Artists, etc. Yeah. She almost dropped her journal actually at one point, which I mean, it is difficult. She's holding a Grammy.
Yeah. I thought she put her Grammy. Didn't she just like put it down?
She did eventually.
Yeah.
Because she was going to drop the journal. And I was just like, it's interesting because there were a lot of speeches that were kind of directed towards the Grammys this year or like towards.
Yeah.
Like. Some of them were a little bit political, and I'm like, well, they imagine it's like the Oscars where they're like, oh, they start playing the music. It's like they can't play the music over that, you know, even if she does go on for a long time.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who it's for. I think who brought the journal in for her? Like, did she carry it in? You know what I mean?
She's got a whole team of journal holders, you know.
Yeah.
One in each color.
Oh, journal, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I was like, okay.
Her performance was interesting. Yeah. I liked it.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. That big pink horse, though, I was like, if you did a zoom in on that face, I was like, nightmarish.
Yeah.
Scary.
It reminded me, isn't that like a thing where somebody brought like a horse into a club? Wasn't that something?
Are you talking about like a Trojan horse?
No, it was like, it's known for, what's that club? Horse into club.
The, like, Roman army?
whatever. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Oh, well.
But yeah, getting into performances, though. So, The Weeknd performed his new music.
Yeah.
That was actually an interesting introduction. What did you think?
I had thoughts on that, too, and now I don't remember.
So basically it was like the CEO of the Grammys came out, I forget his name, and he was like saying, The Weeknd really criticized us for basically not representing multiple like cultures and like just like, shitting on the Grammys for valid reasons. And I thought it was interesting. Yeah. They literally put up all like the headlines and like the news clippings behind him of it. And I was just like, oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, we are at the Grammys.
Yeah.
This isn't related. I just remembered what I was going to say. It's like, did you see that they're, for his like music video movie or whatever, is it that? What is it that he's coming out with?
I have not been paying attention.
Oh, like Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan are going to be in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Hollywood's such a small place. Anyways.
I know. Yes. Did you see, so how did you feel about Doechie's performance?
I really liked it.
I did
thought it was amazing.
It reminded me of, well, you wouldn't know about this, but other people were saying this too, and I felt like validated, but it reminded me of Matilda the musical. Not my dog. There's like a song called Revolting Children, and they're wearing like little like school uniforms, and so it just like really looked like that. It was so funny.
And she took home Best Rap Album of the Year.
Yes.
Which I think she deserved.
Yeah.
Like for Alligator Bites, I think it's called. I think she's an amazing like new artist. I think her performance was great. It was just like it was the way the dancers were moving, the kind of like
that's how they move in Revolting Children. It was like is she
what if she
inspired
like,
by Matilda the musical?
In an interview, she's like, I just really love Matilda.
I wouldn't blame her. It's an iconic show.
I mean, people have inspirations, but yeah, her performance was great. Okay, what did you think of Shakira's performance?
I didn't see it.
Okay, so like, Shakira, like her whole thing is about her hips, and she's like doing like her sexy like if you guys saw me right now, I'm like literally trying to do a belly dance for Molly in this seat. But like Shakira does it better, and it's crazy how she can move her body. It is so sexy, but it's funny because she's also there with like her 10 and 11-year-old sons or whatever. So Chris and I were laughing, just like imagine being like, "That's my mom, go mom," and she's just like,
"Those are my sons."
That was good. That was good. You have a career.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But I thought her performance was amazing. She's in her 50s and it's incredible.
It is. Is she okay though? Wasn't she like in trouble for tax evasion at one point?
Oh yeah, I think that was in Spain or whatever. She's fine. She was like, I paid my tax. I don't know.
All right.
She's fine. Okay. She's Shakira.
Yeah.
She can't lie.
Well, her hips don't lie, but I think she might have lied.
We'll see. But yeah, I thought her performance was great. It was literally like basically just her dancing most of the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, we don't need anything else. Like the way her body moves is crazy.
Yeah.
Which I didn't even realize how long ago that song came out.
Probably I just remember 20 years ago.
I just remember listening to it in Spanish class all the time. Our teacher played it all the time. She was a bitch, but whatever. But anyways.
Okay.
Sorry, that was...
What year did that come out? I thought wouldn't it have been like 20 years ago?
I think it's 2005. Yeah, it was the 20th anniversary.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah. Oh, I also loved, Janelle Monáe, she did for the Quincy Jones tribute a Michael Jackson performance, and it was so fun. Did you see it?
I did. Yeah.
She did.
Wait, say that again? Say all of that again?
She did, like, during the Quincy Jones tribute, she did, like, a dance for the Michael Jackson.
Oh, Janelle Monáe. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, where she was, like, dressed as Michael Jackson, and she was singing and, like, doing, like, the moonwalk and stuff. I was like, this girl knows how to have fun.
Yeah.
She is, like, this is a great moment for her.
And I loved Cynthia Erivo's tribute. It was really beautiful.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah. God, her voice is, like, butter to me. Like, have you ever just heard somebody's voice and you're like, to me, like, when I hear her accent, I'm just like, she literally has a voice like it's like butter. Like,
it was like when she was singing, I was like, wow. I joked with Chris. I was like, what if in the middle, because she did "Fly Me to the Moon," and I was like, just in the middle of it, she goes like the battle cry. Yeah.
No, you don't have to clap.
Wow, that was better than mine.
That wasn't me actually.
Mine sounded like George of the Jungle.
Yeah, I'm just like sick right now, so like it didn't like it. Just, like, didn't sound like... What happened to George of the Jungle?
Honestly, not.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. It's the closest we'll get to
not. He can do it.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in him.
Bring him back in the whale suit.
I think it'll be a different movie.
Okay.
I don't know if those limbs.
Yeah, true.
Will handle it. But anyways, yeah, I thought all of that was great. Were there any other performances or like anything that stood out to you? Oh, Charlie XCX.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was so crazy. I think that Sabrina Carpenter's espresso performance was so cute.
I actually haven't seen it because we were at the movies for something we'll talk about later, and I missed that one. I meant to watch it. No, you have to go back and
watch the video. She's so theatrical.
I love her.
So good.
She's cute.
I loved it. It was like a very different performance of espresso.
Okay. I told friend of the pod, Emily, that she should be Sabrina Carpenter for Halloween.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can't remember what her response was, but she should. Short and sweet.
Yeah. And then Charlie XCX's performance was just like so lit. Like it was so fun.
It was like, the thing is, I was like, oh, why didn't they put her on earlier? But I'm like, it's the best way to end it.
Yeah.
It was so like, it was just very her. Like, I love Charlie XCX. I want to go to a club like and just have only her music.
Yeah. I agree.
But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I had about the Grammys. Oh, I thought it was interesting. Like, there was this whole thing about Babyface walking out on a red carpet interview.
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
Did you see it?
I haven't watched it. I just read about it.
Oh my god, it was actually the most like abhorrent. Is that the right word?
Abhorrent? I don't know.
Whatever. It was the most like astonishing thing. Like it was so bad, Alexa.
Interesting.
So these two AP reporters were interviewing Babyface, who's like a legend.
Yeah.
He's like, show him some respect. They're interviewing him. Chapel Roan comes out. Obviously, she's the new hot thing. Like, I get it. You're excited to talk to her. They interrupt the one girl, one of the reporters, interrupts Babyface like during the interview and goes, Chapel, and like she's like excited. She wants to interview Chapel, and so he literally just goes, oh, you want to like? He's like, you want to interview? And they just kind of like look like just kind of like nod and smile. Like it's like super awkward. It's like the most awkward thing I've seen. And he leaves, and then Chapel Roan comes up so they can interview her. And obviously, like, it was one of the most unprofessional things I've ever seen. Like, I was shocked that they were from the AP. Like, they were both. Yeah. They're journalists.
I think the AP came out and, like, said a formal apology, as they should.
No, she came out. They did. And then she came on and, like, apologized later. The thing is, like, they came out with an apology and they said, like, we're sorry we, like, cut his interview short. And it's like, you didn't cut his interview short. You fully interrupted him.
Yeah.
I was like, fire her. She needs to be fired. Oh, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, can you imagine how he... Well, he probably...
The thing is, I will say, like, and I'm not a, like, professional red carpet interviewer, and here's why, is because I'd be so starstruck. Like, I'd literally be interviewing someone, I'd be like, oh my god, Bad Bunny? Oh my god, Shakira? Oh my god, Beyonce?
But for them to be like, Chapel, and then, like, basically make him leave, it was super awkward, because he literally went, like, oh, do you want to talk to, like, do you want to, and they just kind of were like, you know? And, like, it was, like, they fully just, like, interrupted his interview to...
That's like, so annoying. They should be like...
Oh, she should be absolutely, like, resignation needs to be on my desk tomorrow morning.
That is... I would be... If that were me, I'd be so like... Mad. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, I'm never doing an interview with y'all again.
No, yeah. She should absolutely be fired.
Yeah.
From every job that she had.
From every job ever. Go on that island with Drake.
Yeah. That's basically same thing.
Yeah.
Same crime.
Was there anything else?
I don't think so. I think that was it about the Grammys.
Okay. Do you want to do you want a little pour of wine while we get into question of the week?
Yeah, just a little bit.
This week we are drinking a Kendall Jackson Vinters Reserve Riesling, courtesy of Chris.
I thought you were going to say Kendall Jenner. I was like,
I actually was reading it like that earlier, and I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
Cool. As always, we're drinking sweet white wine. Because we don't do anything else in this podcast.
Thank you. Yeah, we don't. We might have some rosé from time to time, but you know.
So we can find some sugar, we'll get it.
I feel like our question of the week, I mean, I feel like we've kind of just gone over all of them, but
I know what my favorite moment was.
Okay, what was it?
Okay, so what was our question of the week?
So our question of the week was, what was your favorite moment, like favorite Grammys performance?
Oh, performance? Yeah. I have a favorite moment where I just love Diana Ross coming out and she's like talking, she was announcing some award, and the whole time like she would just be like pushing her hair back. She'd just be like this. Just like Diana Rossing it up. Bless you.
Excuse me. You're going to hear a lot of that tonight. I realized the question was, what was your favorite Grammys performance? And we meant to say moment, but everybody understood and everybody said moment anyway, so we're good.
Okay, perfect.
My favorite was probably the Charlie XCX performance was so good.
Yeah.
And I also love Sabrina Carpenter's performance. So
my least favorite moment was when Benson Boone stood up to sing and Heidi Klum and I forget who, someone else, like ripped his jackets off so that way he had another like outfit underneath.
Yeah.
But they kind of like struggled a little bit and then she like kind of did like a hair flip afterwards and I was just like, cringe. We just really didn't need to do all that.
So Ty said the crowd singing A minor.
Oh, I figured. The whole crowd.
Like, that's crazy. So crazy.
Ugh.
Megan said Pink Pony Club 100%, and then she said then the Weeknd's surprise performance because he had boycotted for so many years.
I'm surprised that was second for her.
I know.
Yeah.
Megan, are you really a Weeknd fan?
Yeah, she's a weekday fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Weeknd. It's my favorite thing. Kelsey said Sabrina, the theatrics were so precious.
Aww,
I agree.
Yeah.
There's tap dancing. Like,
I think that's a perfect description for her.
It reminds me of, like, you're calling her, like, a Webkins or something. She's a cheeky monkey. Remember what Webkins had, like, the cheeky animals.
I wasn't a Webkin kid.
What?
Okay.
Then actually, I think I decided, like, we might not have been friends.
I think there's a reason we became friends when we did. You know?
Yeah, that's probably true, because the thing is, like, Webkins was my life.
What was I doing?
You were drowning your Barbies.
Yeah.
You would have tried to drown your cheeky monkey.
Yeah.
They were called they were called cheeky. Like, for some reason, like, one of their things was, like, they had, like, I had the cheeky monkey. They had a cheeky dog or something. It was cheeky. It was weird.
I was on this website called Girls, Gurlz, that was basically, like... Okay. That sounds like porn, but it wasn't. It was basically like a teen. Girls. It was like a teen girls website. I tried to find it again recently, where it was like literally one of those things where it's like the mouse, like it was like this rainbow that followed you around, but it was like black. It was like an Avril Lavigne-esque website was the vibe, and it had like blogs and games, and it was all about being a like preteen girl.
Oh, I'm like actively constantly chasing the high that I had when I was on like Webkins forums because I was trying to like for just like inspiration on how to decorate my house.
Really?
Yeah.
I was on forums trying to figure out how to get a boyfriend, which is how I got banned from the computer the first time.
Okay.
The second time was for watching live witch burnings.
Wait, how are there live witch burnings?
Not live, but like reenactments of live witch burnings.
Have you been to the one in CW?
Witch burning?
Well, like a witch trial. They do witch trials there.
No.
We should do that one time.
That'd be fun.
So fun. Okay, that should be our next like double date.
Oh, that would be cool.
I think like that you would thrive. You would also because
I love how we're like a witch burning. So fun.
No, there's audience well, they don't show the burning, but they show a trial. So you're like participating. It's audience participation. My nightmare, but I would do it for you.
Okay.
Because I think you would really thrive.
I would, although burning is my greatest fear.
No, there's no burning.
Oh, okay.
There's burning, like, hypothetically, but, like, you don't see any burning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would be down for that.
You might have to make sure she's, like, not guilty then.
What if we did a murder mystery party, but at the end, it's, like, a witch burning?
Oh, my God.
We're not going to kill anyone for real. We just put a Barbie. Sorry, I said baby at first.
You know what? Oh my God. The whole plot of Knives Out 2 is like Edward Norton's character. He's supposed to be like an Elon Musk type guy. And so he has like all his friends over to his house in Greece. And he is like planning this like murder mystery game. And it's like he gets killed during their dinner. And then the idea is like the whole weekend they're supposed to just like figure out who murdered him. And of course, Benoit Blanc solves it within like 2 seconds, so it like ruins the whole game. But like I could see you doing that where you have everyone over, you plot like a fake murder of you, and then try to make everybody like solve it. I would
love that, and like it's like Squid Games-esque where I'm just like watching them on the cameras. Yes. Okay. Well,
that should be your birthday.
If I had millions. But I want people to really believe I've been murdered.
Well, because the thing in the movie is he gets really mad that Benoit Blanc like figures it out because he's like, I hired Gillian Flynn to write that.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, she's expensive. But funny. I think you should do a murder mystery but you're the murdered for your birthday.
I would love that. Fun? Yeah, that would be fun. Everyone's invited.
Yeah.
All 40 listeners.
All of our friends of the pod.
Yeah. But anyways, so speaking of burning, we watched a movie that had light burning in it. And so I think I meant to say this.
Pretty bad burning, actually.
But it was a full body. But I meant to say this at the top of the pod. So we watched the movie Companion. If you don't want any spoilers or you don't care about that movie, we have the timestamps in the episode description so you can skirt to the next topic if you would like.
Yep.
And we're going to start now, so do that.
Do it right now.
Right now.
No.
And okay, so we saw that movie Companion, which if you don't know, it stars Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, Rupert Friend, Megan Surrey, Harvey Julian, and Lucas Gage. And it basically is I don't even know if it's futuristic, but it's
it clearly took place in the future because his car, the CD player.
But it's like a near future almost.
Yeah. But it's basically about this Jack Quaid plays a guy who his girlfriend is a like robot.
Yeah, sex bot, as he literally calls her a sex bot.
Yeah. And it's like you can get it's like futuristic. It's like the idea you can like buy these dolls or rent. I guess they rented them. Rent a doll that just is like your companion.
But it's a robot, so it's not like a blow up doll.
No, but it's the funny thing is they don't know that they're robots.
Yeah,
which I wasn't expecting.
Very Westworld.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got into that show.
The first season was so good.
I watched the first episode and I just could not get into it.
Second season is bad. Well, now you can't even watch it. It's not even on HBO.
That is so... Okay, we're not here to talk... I just gotta say, though, imagine taking a whole show off your platform. Like, why?
And that was an expensive show.
Oh, I'm sure. And it was so popular. What do you think is the real reason? I don't understand that. I need that explained to me.
Yeah, I don't know. HBO...
No, but
we're looking at you.
I've never heard of somebody taking their own
Max.
show off their platform, except for that. Like, that's so weird to me.
I have. Stars did it with Shining Vale, and it really pissed me off. Or Showtime, or whatever.
No, Showtime did it with remember that show that I was like really into, and I got super angry because they randomly took it off. Ugh, I'll have to think of it later.
Well, that brings me to I also put on here like a future question of the week.
What?
What show has been canceled that makes you mad?
Oh.
Like that you still think about? That's not our current question of the week, but just ponder for when we post that.
This is like a little.
This is a teaser.
If you're listening this far in,
yeah, an hour and 3 minutes in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We've been talking about the Grammys for an hour.
We really did.
Okay. All right. Let's get into Companion.
Okay. So basically, it's like Jack Quaid. What's his character's name?
I don't know.
Whatever. He's Dennis Quaid's son, in case you're wondering.
And Meg Ryan's son.
And Meg Ryan, yeah. So him and his sex bot girlfriend go to this like cabin in the woods, quote unquote, that's basically like this mansion where they're having like a weekend away with their friends. And again, spoilers, huge spoilers, his robot ends up killing the owner of the house because he tries to sleep with her. The owner does. His name's Sergey. And then you find out that there's actually like this other plot happening, and that I don't know.
Like that was essentially planned. They had like planted a knife on her, but she doesn't know.
And he had jailbroke her, so she was more aggressive because the robots aren't supposed to be hurting people. But
yeah. And the whole thing is like, 'cause he can control like her, what do you call that? Like her
programming?
Yeah, but what do you call that?
Aggression.
No, like
demeanor?
all of her things. Like
aesthetics?
Like her eye color, her like all of her things. He can control her settings. Through like an iPad, and so the whole thing is her like after she kills him, the whole idea is that they're gonna take. Well, should we go into it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. They're trying to like steal they wanted him killed because they want to take the guy's money. Mm-hmm. And that was their whole plot. And now they're going to like get her disabled or whatever, because she'll get like turned off for being like the killer.
Yeah.
And anyway, she escapes because she's like, no, I don't want to die. Because she doesn't think of herself as a robot. She thinks she's a person. And so she escapes with the thing. And so she realizes that she's been being controlled. And it's almost like this very, like, it's about being a woman.
Yeah, it is.
Like, and she can control her voice. And but she realized, like, he had her intelligence down to 40%.
Yeah.
And so she puts that up to 100.
Yeah.
Which at 100, here's my question about that. So she hikes it up to 100%. If she were at 100%, she'd literally be a genius, right?
They said that basically 100% is like an Ivy level grad.
But so right after she did that, she was like sitting there trying to figure out how she was going to escape. Okay, so I feel like whatever, but I was just thinking, I'm like, wouldn't she have like been able to figure this out better?
I don't think, because I think you're probably thinking of it like that movie Lucy, where Scarlett Johansson has like all the, like, she gets access to all of her brain power, but I think it's just like you're just like a really smart person, and he has her
smart
down.
People make smart decisions, and I felt like she was. Well, kind of, but
Zuckerberg. Anyways.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just meant like she was like standing, like it was when she was trying to figure out like, okay, what should I do? What should I do?
Yeah. And the thing is, I get that, but like she also like was in kind of a position where it's like, okay, she like the reason she didn't do certain things was like, yeah, like if I do this, this will happen or whatever.
That's true.
So I just think, but it is about being, there's this, one of the friends there who's not a robot is like, they're having a conversation on the couch. Her name is Kat, played by Megan Surrey. And Megan Surrey is like dating the guy who owns the house who's eventually murdered. And she was like, yeah, like, I guess I'm his girlfriend. He tells me what to wear. He tells me what to eat. He tells me what to do. And like, I just do it because, you know, like he's taking care of her. And then she was like, but why am I complaining? Look who I'm talking to. And it was interesting because it's like, oh, we have these sex bots, but then there's also like women are put in these positions regularly.
And the whole thing was that because like the robot character thought she knew that the girl like didn't like her.
Yeah.
And so she's like, why don't you like hate me? And she was like, why do you hate me? And she was like, it's not that I don't like you. It's just that like you kind of represent basically you represent what I don't like about.
She was saying reminds me that I'm replaceable.
Yeah. Which is weird because it's not like when you compare the two, they're almost the same because she was just describing how she is being controlled by a guy.
Yeah.
By this guy. And it's the same thing with the robot.
Yeah.
So there's no difference between them when you think about it.
Yeah. So this movie got really good reviews, and I could see why. Actually, I was surprised it got as well reviewed as it did.
I did too.
I think it was entertaining, but it wasn't like...
It wasn't like the best movie I've ever seen.
I'm not going to like recommend it probably to a lot of people. And there were certain things that kind of, I was like, they could have made it a little bit more in depth, like in terms of like Jack.
I agree. I didn't think, so I was surprised it did get as good a reviews as it did, I'll be honest, because I thought it was good, but I feel like it was kind of camp to me a little bit. And, I don't know. I feel like I've seen better movies.
Yeah, I think it was... I think they could have made Jack Quaid's character a little bit more, like, depth. Because he was just basically a character to be like, this is why we hate men. They're entitled and whatever. And then also, like, these three friends are meeting at this cabin. And I think I said to you guys afterwards, I'm like, I don't really get why they're all friends. Like, what's bringing these people together?
Yeah. You know what it reminded me of when they were first going to the house? Did you ever see the movie The Rental? It has like Alison Brie, Dave Franco directs it. It's like Alison Brie, Jeremy Allen White's in it.
Oh.
It's like my new favorite, like one of my favorite comfort horror movies. Like Matthew and I watch it all the time. Megan loves it too. Shout out Megan. But we always talk about it because it's like I love anything where it's like friends go to a house together.
Yeah.
And so it kind of reminded me of that where they're like all meet. But you're right, they didn't really get into their. But the one thing that I was not expecting was that there is another robot in the friend group.
Yes.
So there's a couple who, like, it's a gay couple, and the guy played by Lucas Gage, who I love, by the way. He's a very good actor, and he's in so many good things.
Yeah, he's in You, he's in White Lotus, he's in a bunch of random stuff.
He was in Euphoria.
Yeah.
He was in Fargo.
Yeah.
But anyway, he ends up being a robot.
Yeah. And it's kind of like this really touching story of like him actually having robot emotions.
Yeah.
But also I was going to say the thing with like Friends, like these, it reminded me of this horror novel I read that everyone gave such good reviews about, and the whole time it's called Nothing But Blackened Teeth, and it's like these friends get together at this like haunted Japanese mansion, and the whole time like it's a novella, and I'm just reading it and I'm like, why are these people friends? Like, it doesn't seem like there's anything that brings them together. And it's the same thing here. I was like, are they college friends? Like, they don't seem like they like each other or that they, like, really know each other. It's so strange.
I agree. I think the idea is, like, they're not really good people. So they're not supposed to be likable.
Yeah.
But...
And I think it, like, really... It's basically, like, a long Black Mirror episode.
Yes, it was.
Like, they even say when they go to pick up the robot at the end, where it's just like, yeah, like, some of these guys are really creepy. Like, they'll tie the robot up in basements and torture them.
Yeah.
And so that's what brings us to Burning, is because he basically, like, commands her to put her hand over a flame, which you see this in the trailer, and her whole arm catches on fire because he says, do you feel pain? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, well, let's test it out. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, it was awful. So did that freak you out? Because I forgot of your fear.
Yeah.
That's me. So is it like is that your like version of Rats?
Yes. I think about burning alive a lot. But I also think about death a lot. So do with that what you will. But so I will say I think the main actress, it's played by, what did I say? Sophie Thatcher. So she's also in Yellow Jackets. I think she's a great actress. She's in a couple of other movies I think that are coming out soon. I think she's got a very unique like face and voice. Like, she is a very specific type of person.
We were saying the character is very like, her style, if you saw her, it's like very like 50s like like girl, like almost like a Lolita type look. Like, she's got, it's like colorful. We did say it was like if Sabrina Carpenter was a horror movie, because it's like the style of it is very pink, and like all the title card was like pink and
I also
red.
said she would have played a good Bella Swan.
It was a good Valentine's Day horror movie, I would say.
Yeah, it was. I think I think so too.
Yeah.
Do you think you would ever get like a companion bot? I don't mean like a sex bot, but just like a companion bot.
You're saying like if I didn't have Matthew?
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. Like, a part of me would be like, oh, that's fun to just like have somebody like
a built-in friend.
Yeah. Do you remember the episode of Black Mirror where they did like the doll?
It's like season 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, it's one of the best episodes.
Where he like comes out of the bathtub.
It's actually so tragic. Like, it's such a tragic episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's this whole thing, and I think it's Three Body Problem, where it's like you can rent like a parent, essentially, where they like, you meet them at the park and they like kind of pretend to be your parent for a little while. Oh. It's like a parent experience. But I'm just like, oh, that's interesting.
See, this wouldn't be as bad because that's like sad because it's only for like a short amount of time, but like this would be not bad because it's like she's just there, like they're your friend, and they also think that they're real, so it's not like there's anything really, like, you could tell there was something off about her, but other than that, like, she's a real person.
I just think I thought it was good. It wasn't like I wouldn't give it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I thought it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. There was one part I was literally laughing so hard about, and I can't remember what it was.
Really?
They said something that it just really got me.
Oh, did you do your like ha thing?
I was trying to I was laughing for a while. Like, I was just like,
oh, really?
And now I can't remember what it was. I don't know if you heard me next to you.
I love your impression of your laugh. I was next to you, but I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about my chicken tenders. Like, okay, I don't mean to like sit here and talk about chicken fingers and like,
we're hungry.
I like chicken strips. I like that word. And my chicken Chipotle ranch.
Strips.
Yeah. And my Chipotle ranch sauce. I'm not kidding. I ate every single bit of that food last night. I was so hungry.
So we were having this discussion because I love Bunch of Crunch at the movies.
I think that might be my new favorite.
It's a good, honestly, I ate that whole box of Swedish Fish, though. I was like, this slaps.
This sounds weird. I'm starting to get a little tired of the Junior Mints.
Okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
I think I am. Like,
I won't tell them.
Okay. Well, I almost felt bad because you're so nice. Like, you'll like get us candy, and like I think that's so nice. And my mom does the same thing. Well, again, you and my mom are the same person. But I'm starting to like maybe not care about Junior Mints as much. I think I'm Junior Mintsing out.
And the reason I know like Bunch of Crunch is lit is so they came out with Bunch of Crunch when I was working at the movie theater. So it was like literally when I was working there, it's like, here's a new movie theater candy, and I was like,
you're like, what?
I love this.
Well, I realized I brought it home and I was like, Matthew, you have to try this candy. It's like literally like Bunch of, like, it's not like it's like from Peru or something. Like, it's not like.
What did he think?
He was like, oh, it's just like the Crunch bars. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but in bunches.
But in bunches.
Bunch of Crunch. I think I tried to get him to eat it one time when we went to the movies, but it was one of those times where he was having stomach problems. So he was just like, I'm good, thank you.
Matthew.
Because I feel like whenever I enjoy because Matthew and I are on the same vein of sweet treats.
You guys are also, there's like a weird circle. It's like you, my mom, and Matthew are kind of this weird like Venn diagram.
Oh, Three Body Problem.
Sure.
But sometimes I'm like, I can't tell if he like actually likes the sweet treats that I force you to bring home for him to try. Did he like that frozen s'mores?
I'll be dead honest with you, Alexa. We left that in the freezer, and remember I like gave you back your thing like maybe a year later, it had been in the freezer for so long. I don't know if that could have been edible. I know. I'm so sorry.
You would have liked it.
The problem is we put it in the freezer and then we just like forgot about it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I let my mom know that I have a new favorite movie theater candy. Just kind of like set the tone.
Yeah. Know? Okay.
Immediately.
I love being compared to your mom. I love Cindy.
Aw.
I would hope to be like her.
She loves you.
Aw. Yay. But anyway, so I mean that's all I really have to say about Companion. It was good, but it wasn't. I love the font.
We talked about Crunch a Bunch or whatever for 5% of that conversation.
Also Matthew would like cookie dough bites.
I do love cookie dough bites.
Those are good.
Well, Matthew would like, just so you know, like Matthew likes every candy except like dark chocolate.
Is he like a chocolate candy though?
Like, so I realized he went in. He needed to get me allergy medicine, like allergy relief medicine. Yesterday, we were going to brunch and like he had to stop at a Walgreens. He came out with the medicine and a bag of Hershey drops because he like had it was like an emergency Hershey drops.
I have some like, Dove Hearts in the closet right now.
I know. I told Matthew, I was like, I think you're addicted to sweets, and he was like, yeah, I am. Like he crashes out. Yeah, you guys are both addicted. I remember the first time I realized that about you is I think we were in Chicago and we were at a store and you were like, I have to get chocolate for like you're like I have to have my emergency chocolate for tonight.
Oh yeah, for later at the hotel.
And that's so wild. I've never had that. Like
I love having my like little bites of a chocolate bar while I'm watching my little show.
I love that. I've just never cared about candy like that.
I wish I didn't because I will die. Like I am really nervous. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow that I'm going to be diagnosed with like type 2 diabetes. I am technically pre-diabetic.
Oh.
In case anyone was wondering about my medical stuff, which actually I was like, I'm supposed to be fasting after midnight. I'm like, I wonder if this wine is really going to impact my.
Oh my
but
gosh.
We'll find out. My doctor calls me. He's like, hey, I think you're gonna die.
You need to stop the podcast.
So, like your blood is all wine.
That might be true. Your blood is all espresso martini.
Yeah, yeah. But anyways, so I watched that new show Laid.
Oh, I've never heard of this show, by the way.
It's on Peacock. It just came out like I want to say last month. It has actually like some big names. So Stephanie Hugh, if you don't know who she is, she was in Everything,
Everywhere All at Once.
Everywhere All at Once.
Did she play the daughter?
In that movie, yeah. And then Zosha Mamet.
Yeah, it might be Zasha. I really don't know.
I get it wrong every time. She plays her best friend in the show, and so basically the plot of the show is like Stephanie's character, her name is Ruby, she finds out that everyone she's ever slept with is dying. And not like dying of an STD, like getting hit by a car, getting shot in the head, or like random things, and they're dying in the order that she slept.
Oh, okay, Final Destination.
Yeah, it is. Slept with them in. I don't know if that's the right way to say it.
She's the final destination.
So the whole thing, it's 30-minute episodes, and I was like kind of drawn in like by the mystery of it.
Yeah.
I will say it's not like my favorite. Like I was just like I finished it and they set it up for a season 2, and I kind of was like, we don't need a season 2.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, so part of it is Ruby is realizing throughout it like that she is an incredibly selfish, self-centered, horrible person. Everyone she talks to, she slept with like 30 people, which isn't like a big thing, but it's like, and there's also like random big name actors who show up to be like John Early is in it. What's his Simu Liu is in it. Like he makes an appearance. Like some random like comedians, who are like the people who she slept with. And I will say, like, the whole point is supposed to be, like, oh, she realizes she's a horrible person, so she's like, oh, I need to be a better person.
Wait, why is she a horrible person? Just because she slept with 30 people?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, if you hear the way she talks, she doesn't care about anyone else. She literally only talks, like, she reminds me of Lorelai Gilmore in Gilmore Girls, but, like, there's nothing lovable about her. And so I understand, like, the whole thing is supposed to be, like, she's a bad person and she's transitioning into a good person or, like, a better person. But they make her so unlikable and so annoying.
Yeah.
It's, like, hard to listen. Like, she does not stop talking. And it's just, like, very annoying. And so Zosha Mamet plays her best friend, AJ. And so here's an example of how she is a bad person. So AJ and her boyfriend break up for, like, a day, and Ruby gets drunk and sleeps with him, which then puts him on the murder board of like he's gonna die because he slept with her. But she doesn't. But in the whole
does
time,
her friend know about this whole death thing?
Yeah. So her friend is really obsessed with who's the woman who got in Italy murdered?
Like a murder charge?
Yeah.
Amanda Knox?
Amanda Knox. She's really obsessed with, like, murder crime Amanda Knox. Amanda Knox makes an appearance in the show.
Nuh-uh.
I'm pretty sure it's really her, because she's, like, so obsessed with her. I should have said spoilers.
What? That's such a random thing.
Yeah, she's so obsessed with her, but, like, so she has, like, this whole murder board where she's trying to figure it out, and,
that's
like,
kind of funny. I could kind of relate to that.
Yeah, but the whole time I'm like, okay, so they're best friends, they hang out and, like, they have a good time together, but I'm like, I don't understand why this person is friends with Stephanie Hughes' character. I'm like...
That's the theme of today. We just talked about companions. We were saying the same thing.
Oh, yeah, companion. Like, I'm like, I don't understand, like, she brings nothing to this person's life, like, it's very clear, like, she is selfish, and also, as always, in all of these shows, okay, so... AJ is a bartender and Ruby is a party planner, and they have an amazing 2-bedroom apartment in, like, it's like LA or Santa Monica or something, some one of those big cities in California. And I'm just like, in what fucking world? In what world?
I don't know, but okay, so is this, I'm gonna guess based on, like, Zosha Mamet, however you say her name, Zosha, being in it, plus, like, kind of the storyline. Is it a comedy?
Yeah, so it's like a macabre comedy, but it's not like it's not that funny. Like, there was no point where I was like, haha. Like, the reason I kept kept watching is, like, they do have cliffhangers, like, every episode. So I was just kind of like, okay, and you are curious because you're like, oh, why is she, like, why are these people dying? And it's also this whole thing where it's like Stephanie Hughes' character, her mom died, and right after her mom died, her dad left and, like, disappeared, said nothing without a word. Do you know who her dad is? The Dharma Initiative guy from Lost. He comes back at the end, and I was like, I know him.
Desmond?
No. The guy who's, like, in the recordings.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he ends up being Miles' dad or whatever.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ooh,
it's fine. I gave up.
I think he ends up being his dad. It's like something like that.
Well, he's also Stephanie Hughes' dad. And he comes back in the last episode, which is how they set it up for, like, season 2. And it's just kind of like, you don't need a season 2. Like, once again, I was like, this would have been a fine one season. Like, it's a fine 30-minute episode. It got me through lunch the past week or so.
Yeah.
But
it's a good amount of time.
I just was like, it's fine. It's a skip, I think.
I'll be honest, like, you explaining it to me, I'm like, I don't think I would like this show.
The premise is interesting. I think the premise could have been good.
But I can already tell, like, you didn't have to even explain her to me, but I'm like, yeah, I think I would have found her annoying.
Like, she just talks so much, and she's, like, saying a lot of references to things. Like, she is very Lorelai Gilmore, but, like, there's something lovable about Lorelai Gilmore, whereas this character, you're just like, shut up. Shut up. Stop. Why are you talking?
I can't stand. It is so unrealistic when characters are always, like, referencing things. Mm-hmm. I find that so cringe in shows when I'm like, you would not know that. Like, you wouldn't like, people don't just talk like that.
Right.
I find that so cringe.
Yeah. I don't know. So apparently it's based on an Australian show, and
I bet it was better.
Probably. Or maybe, like, there's something about it that's like, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not probably going to watch season 2. Like, again, it was like, I love these 30-minute shows that get me through my little lunch break.
I know. You know how go ahead.
That's it, actually. I don't know. Sorry.
I was just going to say, you know how I was rewatching Ted Lasso recently?
Yeah.
I realized, like, it starts out as good 30-minute episodes. Just, like, I remember it being, like, a good, like, lunchtime show. And then it really progressively got to, like, an hour, 45 minutes, like, as the show went on. Because it just became so, like,
a little bit of a
dramatic.
Drama.
Yeah. And just very in-depth, just as the show became more popular. Bring back the 30-minute shows.
Yeah. Like,
bring them back.
And because there's always times where Chris and I are like, oh, like, do we want to watch a show? And then it's like, okay, well, the only shows we're watching are hour-long shows. I don't have enough time this evening to watch a whole hour. And, like, I don't know.
I just saw something that the Duffer Brothers were talking about the new Stranger Things season, which who knows when that's, like, coming out.
All those kids are going to be, like, college graduates.
They're literally 30 years old now.
Yeah.
But,
like, here's my children.
I know the last season, the episodes were pretty long. I think the last episode of the last season was the longest TV show episode ever.
It was a full-length movie.
It was a full-length movie. It was 2.5 hours long. Apparently, the new season, they're like, it's why it's taken so long to make, because apparently each episode is like a blockbuster movie. And so I'm like,
we just don't
when
have
am I going to watch that? It's
just
gonna be
make
so
a movie.
Exhausting.
And
just
here's
make a fun one movie.
Yes, and here's also my thing is, like, I think about, like, Martin Scorsese or what's his face, Coppola or whatever, being like, oh, yeah, like I want to do these 4-hour length movies. And there is something to be said about like the art that you can create when you're put in certain constraints. Yes. I think it's interesting when you have a limited budget, when you have a limited time. I think, rest in peace, David Lynch, when he had Twin Peaks and it was on like cable TV, it's like, this episode has to be an hour.
Yep.
And it has to like hit certain things. I'm gonna be honest, it was better than the third season he came out with, where I'm like, this is 5 minutes of a man sweeping.
If you can't tell it in a shorter amount of time, then that might say something about you. And I understand Stranger Things is very like it's very complex, and
it's really not.
It's not, but like there's just so much to it.
It's a lot of like CGI editing and stuff, I think.
Yeah, it's so, I'm like, oh my god, those episodes, hearing that, I was like, they're gonna be 2.5 hour long episodes.
Did I ever tell you what my first Funko Pop was?
No.
It's Barb.
Barb, you did tell me that.
Yeah, because I just thought she was so cute, and I was like, I'm not gonna start collecting these, and now I have like 17.
R.I.P. Barb.
R.I.P.
Her death was quite bad.
Yeah, and that's not a spoiler, it's in like the first season from 10 years ago.
For literally 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That show has been on for so long.
Literally, it's gonna be like Stranger Things in the retirement home. It's gonna be like the Upside Down, but they're in stretchers. Or not stretchers. What do you call it?
Walkers.
Walkers. Anyways, so getting into some other award show, a drama. I'll let you take it away.
Okay, I have so much to say about this Oscars drama. First of all, Conclave is turning out to be like, it like manifested the Oscars. You still haven't seen it.
No, I want.
But the idea. Okay, you need to watch that for real.
Yeah,
no more movie assignments. You need to watch Conclave.
I'll be watching all the Best Picture nominees.
Okay, so the thing with Conclave, this isn't a spoiler, it's just like what it's about. But the idea is like they're picking a new pope. And it's like, but it's like the drama, the intrigue of them, like, and they're backstabbing. And it's like, it is becoming the Oscars. And Conclave is about to come out on top, which, by the way, I've been wanting. I think Conclave should win Best Picture, personally. I haven't seen The Brutalist yet, so maybe I will change my mind, but I think Conclave should win. It will be Amelia Perez, but whatever.
Sorry.
Anyway, there's so much drama going on. So, first of all, I'll just start with, like, The Brutalist.
Okay.
There's, like, a lot of, like, AI controversy there. We might have talked about it before. I don't remember. But
yeah, I think we did.
But Adrian Brody is, like, now being criticized because he's nominated for Best Actor. And apparently they used AI in the movie for his, like, Hungarian accent. And so it's a lot of, like, controversy over that. Like, now, you know, if AI is involved, like, why is he nominated? But he should be. He's Adrian Brody. Anyway, but the big one right now is involving Carla Sofia Gasson, who is nominated for Best Actress for Amelia Perez. She played the titular role of Amelia Perez. Titular. But there's like been a lot of there's a lot of layers to this. So it kind of started out, I think this is what started it.
Take us on this journey of
I'm going to, because I have the timeline, like I have everything. But basically, she was talking in an interview with a Brazilian news outlet that she said she would never speak negatively about Fernanda Torres or her film, but on the contrary, I do see many people working around Fernanda Torres who talk badly about me and Amelia Perez. She is calling out, for those who don't know, Fernanda Torres is the star of the Brazilian film I'm Still Here, which is nominated for Best Picture, and Fernanda is nominated for Best Actress. So she's like, Carla is like now talking about Fernanda, which like that led to a lot of speculation that she violated the Oscars, you know, the Academy's rules by speaking about her fellow nominee. Right. You're not like supposed to do that. But I mean, I
didn't even know. Yeah. I mean, I've never been nominated, so like, why would I need to know that?
You've never probably heard other people do that. Yeah. It's just like not done.
But when I am nominated, I'll remember.
Yeah. I guess they didn't do the Vanity Fair roundtable or Variety, whatever, deadline, who knows. Anyway, so she apparently didn't, though, break any rules because you're supposed to specifically say, like, bad things about their performance, I guess, but I don't know, which she didn't do.
That movie broke rules of being a good movie.
She already violated the Academy's rules by, not her, but whatever. Anyway, they've also since, like, praised each other on Instagram, and she came out and said, like, I don't know. It's all just weird. Well, then, basically, more controversy came out after journalist Sarah Hagi, I believe, Hagi. She shared screenshots of Gaston's old social media posts. Why are people deleting? Well, don't delete, because we need to see if you're a bad person. But if you're smart, go back through your social media and delete your old posts. What is wrong with people?
Delete my social media as soon as I became famous, and then I'd start a new social media.
She had so many horrible posts. About
what?
About she was critical of Muslim culture, the death of George Floyd, the direction of the Oscars in the past, like I think in 2020. And it was just like, okay, so it was written in Spanish. Translated, it sounds pretty awful, but people who speak Spanish are like, you have to know, like, if you, like, it's, like, even worse.
Wasn't she hating on Selena Gomez?
She was hating on Selena Gomez. I thought this was fake at first, because I was like, there is no way this is real. So Selena Gomez, who is her co-star, and Amelia Perez
slash wife,
spoiler alert, killer. Anyway, she
downfall.
Yeah. Yeah. So
whatever.
she does. She's the cause for her death.
Yeah, but she's not like a murderer. No, I know. Yeah. Anyway,
tried to. Whatever. She spoke about, this is crazy. This is why I was going to bring this up later. It all comes full circle. We were talking about Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber earlier. She was comparing Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber, and she literally referred to Selena Gomez as like a little rat or something.
Oh, yes, I did hear about this.
And I was like, I thought it wasn't real. I was like, there's no way this is real.
How old is this? How old
She's got to be at least in her 40s. Like,
This sounds like someone in their 40s, like, not understanding that, like,
really?
Your Twitter feed is for everyone.
Well, yeah, she's 52.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, but okay, but also too old to be making comments like that.
Yeah,
why are we comparing, like, why are you 50, or however old you were at the time, and a full-blown adult talking about Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez? That's why, again, I was like, is this real? Like, there's no way. So, can you imagine Selena Gomez's reaction to that? God.
What was it?
Meltdown. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? So they're horrible tweets, very offensive, and she's gotten a ton of backlash for it. People hate her now.
Okay.
And
take that movie out.
So still nominated. Nothing's gonna happen with that. But she did do an interview, basically, because at first she tried to, like, she deleted all her social media, and she said, like, because there's a lot of, like, misinformation out there, and everyone's like, there's no misinformation. It's your post. Yeah. And she did an interview, I think with Variety. I could be wrong which interview it was, but she was basically sobbing and repeatedly saying, "I'm not a racist."
Which, I think we were talking about this in the car the other day. I'm like, I feel like sometimes if you have to be like, "I'm not a racist," then it's like, well, that's that's a good key sign maybe you are.
I mean, they're really bad tweets. So it's just like, it's crazy, because it's like, again, why wouldn't you have deleted them? But also, like, you really post it. It is wild to me when like old tweets of celebrities show up and they're like horribly awful.
And you know what? I will say, so Amelia
Perez,
or sorry, Sophia
Gasson,
yeah. Like, I feel like for us, when we first started, like, social mediaing and Twittering, at least I know for me, I imagine so for you, like, you had your parents always being like, what you put on the internet is on the internet forever. Remember that. And I feel like she probably didn't. But, I mean, granted, that doesn't mean her views are any better. But
would you have ever, like, even, okay, so, because she could easily say, like, I don't feel that way now. I mean, I would have never posted something.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have had those thoughts, but I also just, like, wouldn't have ever made posts like that. So it's wild to me how many people, especially, like, influencers now, it's happening where, like, old tweets of theirs, like, are coming up, and it's, like, racist tweets. And I'm like, why were you making racist tweets? Like, why was that even a thing? You know? And there's no way that you are totally different now. Why were you making that in the first place? There's no way that you're totally different.
I'm just imagining, like, if she does win, like, her speech being like,
can you imagine?
I'm not a racist, and I'm not a bad person.
There's like, really no way she's gonna show up to the Oscars now, right?
I mean, like, even if she wins, the thing is, this, like, takes away a lot of any, like, joy from that, you know?
And so Zoe Saldana came out, because she was obviously asked about it, and she, like, it was, like, this kind of bullshit statement. It was just her basically saying like, I don't support that, but I like don't want this to take away from the movie, and it was just like a very like PR
and I understand
statement.
That because I was thinking about that the other day. I forget who it was, but like imagine like this thing that you've worked so hard on, and it's like this other person. Like I always think about like the cast of Roseanne and how like they did Meet the Connors out of that, and I'm like, as they should. Like Roseanne fucking sucked, but they shouldn't all have to suffer for it.
No, and
I hate that show overall, but like whatever.
Yeah, she was so annoying too. I never really understood why people like loved Roseanne.
This
like there's old shows I'll watch with my parents and I'm like, wow, I love this show now, but I've never
I never got it. Something about it reminded me of like, this is so weird, but just like meat in Tupperware. Is like the vibe it gave me.
That's so good. Yeah.
Like I was just
so
like,
true.
It was like, this just
because
these are the leftovers in the back of the fridge.
Very true. And also I think the idea was she was like a relatable mom. She wasn't like a glamorous. So I feel like people related to her.
I didn't relate. Like I'm not a mom, but like I wouldn't relate to her. I'm like, she's not glamorous, sure, but she's also like not
right.
What? Like she's not
like
like
more people could relate to like Deborah.
Yes, I like Deborah. Justice for Deborah.
Deborah, I always felt like really stressed out for.
Yes, and
she was the most like
fuck Raymond for going golfing all the time with a billion children,
or allowing his parents to move in next door, and allowing them to walk into their kitchen every day,
allowing his parents to drive a car through his front living room.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so. Well, that happened to me as a kid. Like in. Whatever, I won't get into it, but like,
you know what I'm curious about?
It was really traumatizing.
Wait.
So seeing that episode, like somebody drove their car into our house when I was a kid.
What?
Yeah.
You don't have to get into it, but we'll get into it after.
Okay. It was a friend's like nanny was picking me up for school, and she
was
like,
it your parents. Sorry, just kidding.
No. It was like it was a whole thing. But anyway, I just always thought like it traumatized me. So.
Also in those sitcoms, like they always made this joke where it's like, oh, you know, I only do that on your birthday. And I always think to this day, like they're always like these sexual innuendos that they can't say. And I'm like, are they talking? What are they talking about? You know, like now that I'm an adult who's like aware of these things, I'm like, are we talking like what is it that you're only doing on his birthday? I'm so curious now because it was like vague enough where it's like, oh, the adults are laughing and they get it. I'm an adult.
They probably just mean sex in general or something. I don't know.
No, it'd be like they like are having sex regularly, and then he'd be like, "Well, what about this?" And she's like, "That's a birthday thing." Which is like, I hate that portrayal for women in general. But even to this day, I'm just like, there's so many other things. Like, there's so many things that could mean.
They probably, as writers, didn't think about it that far. They were just like, this will be funny. You know, it's going to be funny.
Are they just, like, eating ass? Like, I don't know. Like,
oh my god, imagine, like, Deborah.
I know. I just, like, only on your birthday.
Ray Barone.
Which also
remember when he walks in on his parents having sex.
Oh, yes.
I forgot about that until just
what
now.
A show. I will say that show is very funny.
So
TBS,
good.
very funny.
It was so funny. We would have to take breaks. My family and I watched it so much that it would stress us out after a while, and we'd have to like take breaks from it.
Can I be honest? Something about the decor of their home really made me sad.
Yeah. Their room,
like, so
my
much
mom
beige.
used to really judge their room. Their bedroom is hideous.
The whole thing was hideous. And I get that it's the 90s, but I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, but I love that. I love that actress, though. What's her name? Who plays Deborah? She was also in The Middle. Have you seen The Middle?
Patricia it's Patricia something.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. She's also, like, very pretty.
I've seen clips of I should watch The Middle because I saw a clip recently. It was so funny. It was like, they didn't realize that school had already started, and they're, like, in the pool, and literally they start freaking out because somebody comes over. They're just, like, enjoying summer still, and somebody's like, I'm surprised you guys aren't at school. And they're like, oh my god, school started a week ago. And they freak out because, like, the daughter starts, like, explaining that she's like, I would have missed Tuesday and then I missed Wednesday, and the mom is like, she's like, yes, we know how a calendar works. And the dad is like, obviously we don't.
You would like The Middle. The Middle is one of my favorite, like, I'm not really into like the sitcom shows anymore, but of like the past like 10 to 15 years, it is so good. Chris loves it. That's gonna be added on to Pop Culture Jeopardy after we watch this, or after we record every week. If you guys don't know, like, we watch something together and it's usually Pop Culture Jeopardy. we're adding the middle onto that list because I think you would like
it.
Both Chris and I love
Pop
it.
Culture Jeopardy. I was like, I don't know how we can add a category onto that show.
Oh, I would ace it. 100%.
Like, should we message Colin Jost and say, hey?
Absolutely.
Do you think he gets any say? I thought about this the other day. Do you think he gets say in, like, what the categories are?
No, because he seems just as surprised as the contestant.
You're right. And sometimes it's, like, SNL questions, so you know he wouldn't, like...
Yeah. But anyways, yeah.
What were we actually talking about? Oh, the Oscar. Oh,
the Oscars.
So back to the literally how did we get
that
on
was
that?
A journey.
Well, that's all I had to say. I guess like my thing is, I mean, Amelia Perez really does not deserve 13 nominations. And I thought for a split second, I was like, go, is this girl about to get kicked out of the Oscars?
But
she's not, I don't think.
And the movie should be.
Fuck me, that just shouldn't.
It just pissed me off.
It's just crazy that it got that many. But I think, I wonder if she'll show up. That's my question. Because, like, what's she going to do? Interviews on the red carpet and everyone's just going to be fine? She's, like, so offensive.
That's all they're going to talk about.
She offended so many people.
She probably will show up. I mean, the thing is, like, if it were you, wouldn't you be like, I mean, I'm nominated for an Oscar.
No, I would go, but I'd be so humiliated right now.
Yeah.
Or she shouldn't be humiliated because it's her.
She's gone on that island with Drake and that reporter.
Oh, God, now we got another person on that island.
Wow. What would we call that? Exile
Drake's
Island.
Island.
Oh, okay. Also, Drake's Island sounds like a really good, like, young adult novella.
Drake's Island. I saw a funny thing that was like Benson Boone is a Riverdale name.
Yes,
Riverdale
absolutely.
Name.
Also, like, I love when he does his little flips, but, like, I think it's too much. And also,
I'm over it now.
Your knees can't sustain it for that long. So, like, don't make that your thing.
If he lands wrong.
I think about that every time.
And now it's just the Grammys. Also, apparently, I don't know if you know this, but Charlie D'Amelio is on Broadway right now.
Why?
Because she's in Anne Juliet, which is a musical. And she's a dancer, obviously, so it's like a very dance-heavy show. So she's in it. She apparently got, like, something from the ceiling fell on her head while she was doing, like, a dance.
Very Phantom.
And she got knocked out. Yeah.
She okay?
I think so. But I was like, oh my God.
That would happen to me.
Imagine somebody in the audience, like, watching that. No, I feel bad. Hope she's doing okay, but
here's the thing is, like, I know absolutely if I ever, like, I'm not an actress or a singer, so don't know why I'm saying this. If I ever won an Academy Award, I would be the person who fell, but it's not like
Jennifer Lawrence.
No, it would be worse where it's like my teeth would hit the steps and they would be knocked out.
I would all this bloody while you're accepting your award.
I look at the camera, missing two front teeth, and it's just like
fellow nominees.
Blood is dripping down my face, down my dress, and I'd be like, my first Oscar.
I remember when she fell, because it was a graceful fall. She just kind of fell.
Yeah.
But then she, like, laid on those stairs for, like, a second.
Yeah, because her dress is... Also, you did it in front of the whole world for the Oscars, yeah.
Yeah, but everyone stood for her. She was fine. It wasn't that crazy.
No, mine would be.
Yours would be like a tumble down the stairs. Because that's the thing is, like...
Mine would be like they pivot to the crowd and everyone's forward. like, like covering their...
That's so embarrassing.
Anyways,
I would... There was something I, like, really laughed at. Maybe it wasn't you. There's, like, I feel so bad sometimes. I, like, really laugh at things that I shouldn't.
I do too. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, okay, this isn't related, but can I just tell this funny story? I remember seeing Midsummer with my mom in the movie theaters when it came out, and this girl in front of us, like, there was, like, a group of people in front of us, and, like, this guy had gotten up, and they were in front of, like, it was at Movie Tavern, so there was, like, that rail in front of their chairs, and the guy jumped over the rail when he went to go to the bathroom, and he did it, like, smoothly. He, like, went to the bathroom, whatever, came back. The girl tried... I think about this once a week. It was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh no. She literally tried to do the same thing, but she fell. I don't know what part it was at. Again, it's one of my favorite movies now. I missed like 10 minutes of Midsummer because I was laughing so hard. Like,
she's like going out on a stretcher and Molly is just like...
No, she was fine. That's the worst part. She didn't get hurt. She just had to, like, stand up and leave. It was so funny. She fully flipped over. She flipped over. Like, it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen.
Falling like those old people to the rock.
So hard.
Oh, God.
Like, whenever I watch Midsummer, I think about it.
Well, that's crazy.
Oh god, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
To be clear,
it's not funny
God
when
bless
people
her.
get hurt. It's just like she didn't get hurt. That's like what sucks.
That's the basis of
One thing if you passed out and like you're on the floor, but like she had to stand up and walk out. After flipping over this rail, it was so crazy. I'm sorry.
I wish. I'm trying to picture like us watching that happen.
And you know, my mom's not like, my mom doesn't like do that. Like, she doesn't laugh like that. Like,
she doesn't laugh.
Like, no, she laughs, but like, she is not like me where I like focus on something for a long time. I was literally crying laughing. Okay, I'm done. Let's move on because I will continue laughing so hard at this.
Well, I think we can.
Should we end on that? That's so embarrassing.
I think we should.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think she should be allowed at the Oscars? Let us know.
I thought you were still talking about the girl, that girl from Midsummer.
What do you think that girl is now?
God, she's like just now in a permanent full body cast. She's like, actually, I really hurt myself.
I remember she was wearing a yellow dress. Anyway,
it was Chapel Roan. Anyway,
it was Kaylee.
What?
Chapel Roan's real name is Kaylee.
Oh,
I think.
I was like, do you know her name? So anyways,
this was fun.
This was fun.
I'm sobbing right now.
Molly's like tears. Your face is red. Like,
really?
What a time. That was good.
That was crazy. What a way to end the show.
Yeah, I would love to see that at a movie theater. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but like I will say, like, okay, the whole basis of America's Funniest Home Videos is like people falling and getting hurt.
And I don't normally find that funny. Sorry, we gotta end the show.
It's the movie's so serious. It's like literally like when her whole family is dying with the gas.
It was just like, it was the fact that I wasn't supposed to laugh is like what's so funny.
Yeah. But anyways, thanks for popping in with us this week. As always, follow us on Instagram at Poppin In Podcast. That's where you can see our posts, our question of the week, general fun and giggles from all of us. Rate, review, like, and subscribe. Again, as always, unless you didn't like it, which I don't know why you would make it to this point if you didn't.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Yeah, but we are so excited to have you all every week and come back next time. Bye.